Coffee! Coffee!
Coochie conversation time. Coochie conversation time.
Coffee! Coffee!
Where you at? Where you at?
Coffee! Coffee!
Where you at? Where you at?
Wednesdays, starting November 2nd at noon.
Cheryl, please, 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 let me tell my friends. Come on. I've kept this secret for so long.
And you've done a great job keeping the secret. It is, we're almost ready. We almost got everything lined up. I'm so ready, so excited to do this video cast.
You don't understand. I can barely keep Christmas presents a secret. How am I keeping this a secret any longer? I can't do it. I have to tell my friends.
You just got to keep it secret a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer till the timing is absolutely perfectly right.
Oh, Cheryl.
Ho, 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 and Merry Christmas from Coffee, Coochies, Conversation. I'm Cheryl.
I'm Kelly.
And we're here today, joined with a special guest, Michael Elliott, correct?
Yep, correct.
With Virtual Ventures, a new business here in Davenport that we're so excited to tell you about. A little bit of a party atmosphere here, celebrating Christmas, celebrating Kelly's 29th birthday. I don't know what annual 29th birthday it is, but it's an annual. When you reach a certain point, you start having annuals, you know.
Sure.
29 forever.
And then you reach a point where it's 39, annual 39th birthdays. I'm on my 20th annual 39th birthday at this point, so almost, not quite.
We just don't talk about the real number.
You know what? At a certain point, you reach a place where you want to brag about your age because they could think you're older than what you are.
Probably
and
depends on
have
who
someone,
you are,
well,
though.
have someone say, she looks old for, 40 versus, oh, you look great for 58.
Yeah, I just got told today that I look a lot younger than what they...
You do look younger, I'm sure. How old are you?
How old do you think I am?
No!
I can tell I'm going to like this interview already.
I'm horrible with that.
Well, guess. Take a guess. I'm not going to be.
He said he was a '90s military. He gave us a little bit of information when he, because yes, we do have another veteran guest here, an Army veteran. Brandon was here, and he was also Army veteran. So it's the questions back to you, Kelly. He says, having 39th annual birthdays too? Are you having 39th annual birthdays too?
You're probably around my age.
Yeah, maybe.
I'd say 48.
Oh, super close. Yeah, my birthday, I'm going to be 47.
Ooh, I was close.
She does not win a prize.
She went one over.
Yes.
Yeah, that's bust, right?
The Price is Right. You went over. You're out of the
that's
showcase.
Why I'm horrible at these
You should have went
games.
with one.
Damn it. Yeah, you're right.
Keep your other job. Do not go to work at the fair doing age
Hey, in my defense,
birthdays.
we were like, yeah, we could be the same age, and I'm only 41, so.
Until tomorrow.
Well, it's close.
Until
So
tomorrow.
you were saying,
Somewhat close.
so you guessed over too, kind of, in a roundabout way, right?
I'm not saying there's a miracle.
Cheryl's like, I'm
not
out of
saying
this one.
nothing. Cheryl's staying quiet. So I want to take a moment and do our introductions that we are filming here at Done Right Studios in Davenport, Iowa, courtesy of Kelly Jeffries, who is our host and setting up Done Right. So all of your TV security needs, podcast studio needs, see Kelly or Kelly.
Yay!
For all of your security
Lordy.
TV type needs. And our producer is Josh, and he is sponsored by Holidays in North Park Mall. I've been to Holidays. Have you been there, Michael? If you have someone who's hard to buy for, that's a place to shop. Everything, anything you can think of related to Christmas, it's going to be there. They have one whole room dedicated to nutcrackers.
Oh, wow.
Little ones, big ones, medium-sized ones. Size matters.
So they do all holidays or
Size.
just
Right now it's Christmas. Okay. So yep, they're on the Christmas
they're there
holiday
all year long.
So no, it's just inside the mall for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
And then the rest of the year they travel to different like the Freight House Farmers Market and places like that.
And then in the summer they go to Australia, right?
I'm sure they're digging for gold during the summer when they aren't
Or
busy,
living it up, one of the two.
making crafts.
Made all that.
Because there'd be a winter time in Australia, right?
It's the other side of the world, so technically. But let's see. I believe they celebrate Christmas around the world at the same time because Santa Claus does this thing around the world. So I don't believe it's like Thanksgiving. Like in Canada, it's a different day. I don't know that Christmas you can really get away with going 6 months later. Can you, Josh?
Probably not.
Unless you're in Frankenmuth, Michigan, in which case it's Christmas every day, or North Pole, Alaska, and it's Christmas every day. So shout out to Holidays for sponsoring Josh, our producer, and shout out to our producer, Josh. So it was a perfect day for you to come see us. We are in the holiday spirit. We are ready to party. And it seems like that's the name of your game.
Yep.
Tell us about it, please.
Sure. So Virtual Ventures is a VR arcade center, not to be confused with a VR arena center, not to be confused with a VR arcade center. So in an arena VR system, you're sharing the same space with other people rather than using a joystick to move around with. So you don't have to worry about like the cyber sickness and all that kind of, horrible stuff that most people experience when they put on a VR headset. It's really fun. We have a 600 square foot arena where we can host up to 6 players at the same time. We do escape rooms, laser tag. We have survival games like zombie survival, tower defense. We have like a platform shooter game, shooting robots and stuff, which is kind of fun. And we have a lot of new games coming out too, as well, by the end of this year.
So when a party of 6, let's say, comes into the store, they say you give them a list of these things that they can choose from, or is this a pre-sale thing?
Yeah, so we have a booking website that handles all of our bookings. We don't have walk-in hours or anything like that. So you go online, you book your event, and it's basically a private event. Whether it's we just started 10-minute events for just kind of introductory stuff. It's also meant for more like kids and stuff like that. And then we have all the way up to like hour events, games. And then we have the birthday parties, the private parties, and those are 2 and 3 hour events. And those you can actually have up to 12 players come in, and then we alternate between the 2 groups every 15 minutes. In the meantime, they can enjoy our VIP lobby where we have like air hockey table, we have a foosball table, digital pinball. They just, in a banquet table, people can bring in their own food and drinks.
What are your ages?
Minimum 10 years old and all the way up to, as long as you can walk.
My oldest could go then, but my youngest would love that too.
Unfortunately,
of all ages, I think. Well, what is the youngest age?
10. Right?
10.
Okay, 10 is
we
for
have,
sure.
we
Your
have
10th birthday.
Yeah, we have done 8 and 9, but it gets really difficult. Around that age, it kind of hit or miss whether they can handle the VR. Some of them get really scared when they put the headset on and have things moving around.
And it's
real.
real.
Yeah, it's very real. I mean, it feels very real, and so some of them can't handle that. And of course,
I guess that's true.
We do have VR.
Put Paisley in that.
Yeah, and we do have VR equipment, and sometimes when they get scared, they throw the headsets down, which
is not good for the equipment. Yeah. Well, when you said the 10 minutes, sometimes you have the smaller sessions for the kids or the shorter.
Shorter, yeah.
I guess I thought that maybe would for the younger ones because either their attention spans or their ability to tolerate all of that stimulus.
Yeah, now that we've been open for about 6 months, we're looking to put into like a rating system for each game to give people a better idea of its intensity level. So that way people can measure better whether or not this is going to be something for their kid or for themselves, that they can handle. So we're looking at green, yellow, and red.
That's a
color
good idea.
Codes.
Simple.
So green would be safe for the younger, maybe 12 and under. It's less intense. More cartoony, maybe,
Oh, that'd be cool.
Like skiing, if you're going to the Black Diamonds, it's going to be a ride. Versus the green,
and then yellow,
bunny run or whatever.
Yellow would
bunny
be
hill.
kind of more for teenagers and maybe adults, and then red would be, really intense, really realistic. I just recently play tested a new game we have called Safe Night, and it's a zombie game. But it's real intense. It's high graphics, and I at one stage the power went out in the game, while I'm fighting zombies. And so all I could see was shadows. And I can tell you what, there was a moment there I thought I was going to have to take my headset off because it was that intense.
Scary.
And it was a part of the game.
But it's part of the game.
It was a part of the game. And
I have to come do this right now.
it does sound like a lot of fun. I wish we'd
What
had
are the
the
prices
opportunity to come down before we had you on the show. But now you know, I don't know if you could tell, like the fish on the hook. You got that one. Like she isn't even fighting. You already brought her in the boat.
Oh, it sounds super fun.
Well, it is a lot of fun. Yeah. It's
so
just,
are your friends with you in the game?
Yes,
I guess
together.
I remember the one time I did it, they were I couldn't remember.
so most of our games are cooperative play where you and, you know, up to 5 other people are working together for some sort of objective.
Okay.
Whether fighting waves of zombies or defending a mystical tree from getting damaged by goblins and, you know, whatever else. And you have bow and arrows and there's
Do you have a kill him with kindness option?
no.
Is the scary one really scary? Because like I love scary stuff.
Safe Night, the one I just play tested, is super scary. Like super scary. Like zombies. I'm usually not intimidated by much. And I'm telling you, when the lights went down, because the generator fails, when the lights go down and all you see is silhouettes and you hear the rumbling and you know, sounds from the zombies as they're coming towards you.
I want to do
my
it.
heart was like,
If you take the headset
just to
off,
watch her
and
freak
there,
out.
like I said, there was a moment I was just like, I'm not sure I
if
can
you
do
take
this.
your headset off, can you put it back on and keep playing?
Of course,
okay.
yeah.
Can you record with your phone?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Your
So-
partner's reacting in the middle.
Yeah, so in our VIP lobby,
There's no pictures, it didn't happen.
we have a big screen that shows the in-game play, and then right below it, we have a screen that actually shows the players in the arena. Because we can't
so you
allow
can
anybody
watch.
in the arena only because the players in the arena don't see you, and you will get run over or knocked out.
Sure.
So
They think they're chasing
are people
zombies
really
and
like
you're in the way.
you're punching?
It's
and
real.
Stuff. Okay,
yeah, so like
gotcha.
in Safe Night, there's a part where the ground opens up and you're on a plank
Oh,
and there's zombies climbing up the wall, coming out, and you can knock the zombies back into the pit while you're fighting, as long as you don't fall off the plank. So.
Oh, I have to do this.
Yeah. So yeah, there is a little bit of swinging. We usually tell people in our safety orientation, make sure you give each other a little bit of space, so you don't, you know, whack your friend.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so fun.
And you heard there's a safety orientation
Yeah.
before you go into the arena.
Yeah.
Everybody does it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we one of the funniest things in the safety orientation is we tell everybody there's a good chance you're going to forget you're in virtual reality, and you may lean on a wall, and if you do, you will fall over because the walls are fake. And at least once a day, I have one person at least that will go down
Leaning on the wall.
and then they'll lay on the ground and laugh, and I'll go over and make sure they're okay. And I've never had anybody injured, thankfully, but anyways, but then I go, did you lean on a wall? And they go, yeah.
That would be like
so
a thing to take
awesome.
bets on. Like, who is going to do it first
Yeah.
in this group? Which one's going to lean on the wall that
Yeah.
doesn't exist and fall over?
But they were
I'd
like,
be
you
out there placing bets.
And I try to tell them, look, I know it sounds funny that I'm telling you this now, and you don't believe me, but somebody will fall because they will lean on a wall or try to lean on a table. And in the escape rooms, we had one person, there was a table in the middle, and they tried to lean on it while people were talking to them. And then they realized, oh, that's not a real table. So, and people walk
See,
around.
And the escape room
I did
the
that,
virtual
too.
reality
I did an
escape room
escape
sounds
room one
really
time.
fun.
Yeah.
I
The
did
escape
that
rooms
one
are
time
about
for my
35 minutes. They're $35. We do have a double escape room package you can do for $50 a person. And that gives you 2 escape rooms, so an hour and 10 minutes total time, which is really cool.
I've never done an escape room. I feel like that's where I live, you know. So why go pay for it?
Why?
That was a joke. I'm teasing.
She's trying to escape
Why
every
do you
day.
Let me save you. No,
We would
yeah,
be
right.
really-
Her house is way too cool.
We would be really good in an escape room together. You could just see it. It'd be.
It's hard too. It's harder than you think. Like way harder than you think.
Yeah, you're just thrown into a room and no instructions or anything, and you just kind of
you have
got
to find the instructions
poke and prod
yeah.
and look for hints and
Sounds like life.
yeah, and then solve puzzles, and then you finally get out of that room, and that leads you to the next room, and So we have 6 actual escape room.
Okay,
adventures.
because it's virtual reality. So
yeah,
so
we can use the same. So we have
so awesome.
So we have the one. So this is also the beauty of it. We have the one arena that's 600 square feet, but we have over 20 games that we can play out of that one arena, including
awesome.
6
Pick your
escape
game,
rooms.
right?
And we have more escape rooms coming.
Have you done them all?
Oh yeah, of course.
So you can
I've
tell
play
people
tested
like
them.
what.
Yeah.
So you
Of course,
can
my
tell
alarms are going
people.
off. I have a
That's
very,
what I'm telling you to be here.
I have a very
Don't
very
forget.
bossy phone on purpose. It keeps me on track.
I need. I need to do something like that.
But
Yeah.
it really does, and it sounds like something that can keep evolving as
Oh, yeah.
the technology evolves, and you even
Yeah,
are
we-
making plans to move into a bigger space.
Yeah. So I started this, I guess, adventure about 2 years ago when I first got into exploring virtual reality myself, and I, tried out different things. I like to customize things and mess with stuff. So electronics and devices. So I kind of got in the back end of the headset and messed around with some of the stuff. Then I found some other programmers out there that were also tinkering around with the headsets and what they could do. And we did a lot of experimenting. I rented like some gymnasiums and I ended up buying like 10 Quest 2 units and then customizing them. And then I rented a gymnasium and gathered a bunch of friends of mine and we just tried out stuff.
That'd be super fun.
That does sound fun.
Mind you, I did have some people run into walls and stuff, but they were aware that we were experimenting with stuff. But
Come prepared.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun trying different stuff out. And then I started making all these connections with all these different developers. And we started doing trade shows and expos and kind of testing it to see how the market.
Share your story about at the expo and the line.
Oh yeah, so the last expo was actually about a year ago. Wow, look at that.
It's the ghosts from the last podcast who are joining us.
Are we in virtual reality?
That is creepy.
So
Talking about zombies and
yeah,
stuff.
I know, right? The power goes down.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Shit,
tricked
generator.
you.
Yeah.
We're in VR.
I was just preparing.
I'm going with the flow.
So no, the last expo we did a fitness expo in East Moline last year, the end of last year, and we had a big 20-foot by 20-foot tent where we had 4 headsets and we were signing people up to let them try out and I felt bad for all the other vendors because we had a line.
Oh,
of
you would
people.
take over any party.
And all these other poor vendors had nobody at their booths, and we just had this huge crowd in between our booth and across the way was our big tent. So we just had this huge crowd because we also had a big screen TV that was showing stuff going on, and
You can make so much money
and it
having
was just
trucks of
so,
those.
so crowded. And we do have a mobile unit still.
You do?
Yeah, and that's why we have
That
our
was another
van.
question
So it
I
was
gonna
yes,
ask you.
we could go to him or he could come to us.
Yeah. So
It's taken that Nerf gun thing to a whole new level.
right, yeah, because we started off mobile, and that was at that event we had so many people signing up and then asking, well, where are you located at? And we're like,
Right.
we don't have a location. So I was like, I think it's time we get a brick and mortar kind of location, get set up with a permanent spot, and then try that out and see how well that does. So we started with one arena because we have 4 developers that develop all of our games. And we started off with the one arena, but ideally it's better if we had an arena for each of the developers because then they would have their own server and, they have all their own games and stuff like that. And it would be a lot easier. Plus, obviously, as it gets more popular, then we would be able to host a lot more events and stuff like that. Ideally, in the future, what I would love to do is create some sort of laser tag league, like VR laser tag league, where we have like competition and tournaments
Heck yeah.
and kind of rival esports because esports is
Yes, it's
esports
big.
is really it's big, but it's a lot of guys sitting in front of a computer, and I'm
That's
not trying
true.
to
They're
poo-poo
not
them
moving.
too much.
That's true.
But to me,
Yeah.
I
not
kind of always
moving.
feel like sports is really moving, and I know like I have big fans that run in our arena to keep it cool, keep everybody cool, and a lot of people are like, it's kind of chilly in here. I go, trust me, once you get started, you will be glad that it's the fans are blowing, and
Yeah.
because you work up a sweat and you don't even realize it because you're so immersed in what's going on and moving around and stuff. Yeah, you don't even
That is
realize.
so cool.
You'll take it off and you'll be just drenched. A lot of people are.
I'm thinking about like developing my own game.
I just
But
think that's
like
what
a
I thought
pillow
of in my
fight game. Keeping it soft.
Cheryl,
In
you
which
would
case-
whoop me in a pillow fight.
Why? We're keeping it soft. But I'm a
can't
big
have soft
believer
pillow
like
fight.
in the Nerf guns. In which case, if you're in a relationship and you're frustrated, pull out the Nerf guns and fire them at each other, and you end up laughing, and it's all good.
I might beat him with the gun part. No, I'm just kidding.
If you're laughing, you're not angry. Is what that
kidding
really
anyway.
comes down to.
There you go.
So you can be frustrated with somebody, but when you pull out the Nerf guns or the squirt guns or whatever, you can have fun with it. In which case, I'm thinking it's so much cheaper than a divorce. That if somebody were to develop something, a game that, like, I'm frustrated with my
Or like
partner right now, and we're going to go in and we're going to box.
you should
Like,
have,
it's going to be real.
Like you should have a tally of the kids at school that have been naughty.
That is a little more dangerous because you are physically right there with the other person.
All right,
Oh,
so
yeah.
maybe
you
not
probably knock them
boxing.
out.
Maybe not. Okay, can I have a voodoo doll? Can we work with that?
Or like have some sort of a reality for children that are bullying or whatever for schools and sell it from the schools. Holy moly.
What, do we get to smack up the bullies?
No.
What
you-
angle,
but
what's the angle
but
here?
theirs can be like, I mean, it doesn't have to be physical, does it? I'm thinking, I want you to have like a little girl one where you see rainbows and unicorns floating or something.
This is why we're not developers.
Yeah.
It'd be all pixie dust and
Hello.
glitter and unicorns.
I'm always thinking about the babies.
But again, there is a lot of applications for this. So if someone is seeing kindness in a virtual reality aspect and it's becoming real to them, how could that be bad? But where's the competition in it?
What if you had to, I mean.
I'm thinking virtual reality Twister game could be fun. Especially if I get to pick who I play with. Can we do that? I want Jason Momoa,
Oh, wow.
George Clooney, any of the Chris's from the Marvel movies. I'll take any of them.
You don't want to know mine.
Yeah, who can eat crackers in your bed anytime?
Oh, lordy lord.
Celebrity.
Channing Tatum.
Just the way she said it.
Yep.
Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, there you go.
Marky Mark.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg. And I don't know.
I have a friend that lives
Definitely a 90s girl.
in St.
Yeah.
Charles
That is all 90s.
and backs up to Donnie Wahlberg's house and Jenny McCarthy's house in St. Charles, Illinois area. So we're like 2 degrees from Mark.
You know, I
Maybe
will
3.
say this is so funny about Justin Timberlake. He is. He's probably
we
way
have-
too young for me, bro.
So you
but
can see there's a market for this. But really, if you want to get the women in and not have us fighting,
Well, most
who
of
else did you think
do
of?
they do things like that? Do they
I
have those kind of parties?
I'm
Back to
sure,
the- back
but
to the
that's
sound
not
of
my
I'm like,
business
that
model.
might be a little too much. You never know what you'll see. 'Cause she
I
does
had started out with like
yeah, but
therapy.
you do that.
What you should have
She
played
does-
is the cha-ching sound. That's a whole different
She
business
does
model.
the hypnosis, the naughty, delightfully naughty hypnosis. So it
Okay.
kind of goes along with that if you think about it, because you never really know what you're gonna get, right?
This is true. And I do like a virtual reality
do?
routine.
Do you do?
I do. Nobody wants to talk about duty today. There we go. There's a difference between duty and duty.
We like talking about butts. Sorry.
And that's why he has the fart sound is because,
Oh my god.
we just do. But it's not my
you go.
duty to talk about farts and butts today.
No, sorry.
We were talking about partying and having fun, and I'm sorry, as soon as we started talking about George Clooney, my train did jump off the tracks. But I know it had to do
It's
with...
out of my lane.
No, wait.
At least you know
didn't
where your
say
lane
your
is.
3.
This is
wait,
good.
you got to say your 3. That's only fair.
I don't really have a 3. I don't really
Okay,
have a 3.
celebrity, beautiful people. I don't want to like make anybody mad, but there's beautiful people this world. Do you have a top 3 or top 1? Your wife.
Yeah, right.
That would be the smart answer.
Cha-ching.
You are so smart.
That stays married the longest.
I'm sure. Yeah.
She knows that already.
Okay,
though.
sorry. Keep going. I just forgot to ask.
So this is why we are not in the developing aspect, not one of your developers, because yes, they would be all warm, fuzzy games and people, making it.
There might be a market for that. Who knows?
There's a market for it.
Yeah, just not my lane.
Not yet.
Not
Because
yet.
I still think, in terms of the flip side of that, it is cheaper than divorce. If I could go in the room in virtual reality and just imagine that, like my ex, for instance, that he is the zombie. Oh,
you could probably imagine that with one of the zombie ones.
Cheaper
Yeah,
than therapy, and
I'm pretty certain a lot of this kind of stuff already exists on VR headsets. It's just kind of stuff you do at home or in the office, and
do people buy them for their homes a lot?
Oh yeah.
Oh, they do. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
yeah, you have your individual.
So the
individual headsets.
the Quest 2s that we use. I mean, there are a lot of other headset products out there, but we use this Quest 2 systems because they're easy to manipulate and do stuff with. But yeah, there's a lot
and you
of
can add
home.
5 people, right?
There's
Up
a
to
lot of
6.
home applications. There's a lot of stuff you can do. Like me and my wife, actually, we spent a lot of time in AltSpace, which was bought up by Microsoft. And that's a social interaction software program. So it has like nightclubs, comedy clubs, art galleries. I mean, there's a ton of stuff. Movie theaters.
I like that.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun, and you get to meet all kinds of other people. Oddly enough, people have been married there. They have like wedding venues, and people actually got married in VR. And some people have these homes, virtual reality homes, where you can go visit, and they have their couples portraits on the wall, but it's their avatars. I think it's pretty funny, but that's how there's a whole community in
So that's
VR.
Die hard.
They're die hard.
That's a whole other building.
But a lot of that
could
grew out of
offer that.
COVID when people couldn't leave their homes.
How
They
smart,
developed
though.
a whole community of people that now are like
So
best
they're
friends
connected.
all connected from all over the world.
So you talk to people from their own homes. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a friend that definitely is into that.
Yeah, but we go to a club called Failure to Render,
Okay.
which is hilarious play on words because you can render graphics, and it's a play on nerdy video game stuff. But they have real comedians come in and do comedy shows and stuff like that,
That's awesome.
which is amazing. Especially, it's really funny when the comedian has never put a headset on before, and just watching them kind of stumble around with that. And they're on a stage, and then the rest of us are all avatars as well.
They're the
But
ones
we're
that
out in the
fall
crowd.
over.
Oh, that is so awesome.
But you can, but we're all in the crowd, and sometimes you get a heckler or something.
What if there's only like 1 or 2 people that join the crowd? Do they have people fill in for that, or is it no? Okay.
No, it's all
No, but
virtual
they're-
reality.
So do you want to get your friends
but they're
involved?
pretty,
or?
but they're pretty packed usually. Usually, you have a hard time getting into some.
Oh,
rooms.
really? How crazy.
And complete with a heckler.
Yes.
That just makes it all that much
I
better.
bet these are so expensive. Are they to buy for your own home?
No, for the Quest 2s, you can get them for I think as low as $400 starting off.
Fun.
Yeah. I mean, ours are all customized. And
I'm sure
geeked
yours
out
are way
because
cool.
That's what I do. But
Right, which he modified. You talked earlier about how you did this yourself and then modified the systems.
even my
to
personal
make
one's
them,
modified.
to make it work in your arena. Is that right?
Yeah, for the arena. So the Quest 2 units aren't designed specifically to do arena VR. In fact, none of the headsets are really designed that way. But because they're meant to be standalone. They're standalone headsets, and they use what's called room scale VR, which is you stand in your room and it's just you and in your space, and then you go and play these games or
So
or
that's
do
if
these,
you bought one at home.
but it's not meant to be in the same space with another person with a headset, because normally you wouldn't be able to see the other person, or you wouldn't be lined up per se. But we have special software that allows us to calibrate all the headsets so that they're all perfectly lined up, and they stay in sync with the arena. So for every foot you move a foot in the virtual reality as well. So it's all matching exactly. Because our whole goal, or my whole goal, is specifically to design and have experiences that don't kick in that cyber sickness effect, where your movement's not matching real life.
Like motion sickness.
Yeah, because it's I call it cyber sickness, but it's motion sickness. It's where you get vertigo or your inner ear is not matching the movements of what you're seeing.
I have vertigo.
And you get very sick. You start getting you start sweating, and then you get super nauseous.
That's your body telling you this is not working.
And I've been super nauseous before experimenting with stuff. I've made myself terribly sick before.
Yes,
I've been out an entire day because I've made myself so nauseous. Because I experiment a lot with stuff, and sometimes you're doing stuff that and your body's like, oh no, we're not doing that anymore.
Mm-hmm. I got in one of those gyro things. You know what I'm talking about? And it started spinning, and that was like never again. No.
In the future,
give me that.
In the future, I'd like when we have a bigger game center. What I would love to also implement, besides just the big arena VR systems, what I'd also like to do, and I've been looking at different companies that are manufacturing these 360 and 720 machines, which are basically you get in, you strap in like a harness, put the headset on.
Oh, your whole body's in it.
Yeah, and then it turns and it moves. So if you're in a fighter jet, you could do barrel rolls and fly around, and maybe a spaceship or maybe 5 of you climb in on a device.
That would be intense.
And do a roller coaster, but it moves also. So
that would be his red label ones. The ones that you're coating green, yellow,
yes,
red.
they would all be red. High intensity.
All red, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so, but some people would love it. Like, I think people would get addicted to, the fighter jets and race cars. Race cars are awesome.
You used a line earlier, the adrenaline rush without the
risk. Adrenaline rush without the risk.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I want to do it.
So roller coasters, race cars, motorcycles, fighter jets, spaceships.
You mentioned
hang gliding, because you can have
I'd like to do that one.
You can have the what are they called? I don't remember what they're called, but you have the actual ropes, and it keeps track of. So if you pull on the ropes, it'll lift you, and it'll lift you on the device.
Oh, that is
and then you
fun.
can let it loose, and it'll drop you, and you can feel the rise and the fall, and you can turn, and so you'll feel like you're really hang gliding.
Oh yeah, no, I know it's very realistic when you're in it.
And then
which that would have to be cheaper than therapy. Seriously, that one right up there is very much up my alley. I would love to do the hang gliding.
Skiing, you can do skiing with skis, so you feel like you're on a slope.
I like that you have it where you are in a different world or whatever per se with 5 other people. That's so
sharing
cool.
The space. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I mean, people don't realize how much fun it is until they experience it. I could talk about it all day long, but until you try it, you have no clue. I mean, just look on our website, whether it's Facebook, Google, anywhere. We have 5-star ratings across the board, just because the experience is so unique and so fun.
Give us your physical location in Davenport, the street address, please.
1730 Wilkes Avenue. That's Davenport.
And that's on the west end?
Yep, it's 1 block west of 5 Points. It's in the old Johnson Elementary School, which is currently called the Wellness Center.
We're on the third, where you're at.
Yeah, we're on the 3rd floor.
Good. I didn't know they had to sign up for rent for people you came in.
So we converted 2 classrooms. One classroom into our VIP lobby, and the other classroom is our arena.
Awesome.
And we're also the
Plenty of parking.
We're also the only blacklight arena in the whole world right now.
Really?
Oh,
black lights are fun.
That's so
and
cool.
the reason we do that, so normally the headsets need really good lighting in order to keep their tracking intact, so they don't lose tracking. But we've been able to figure out a way to use black lights with infrared floodlights and all kinds of other lighting to allow the headsets to see still and be able to continue doing tracking. And the reason we do that is because when you put the headset on, we're trying to get rid of any kind of distraction. So, if you're in a well-lit room, there's still some light leakage going into the headset, and that can distract you from your experience. And what we're trying to do is give you a truly immersive experience. So you forget that there's an outside world altogether. And some people actually do. They take the headset off. They're like, whoa. I go, welcome back to reality. And they're like, yeah, no joke.
That's interesting. So just to make sure I understand, so these headsets, whether there's 2 or 6 people, so I've put that headset on and I'm in a virtual reality experience, and that's what I'm seeing. How is it that I guess it's to where it's picking up the room as well, to
Yep.
where I'm able to see that Kelly's in there with me. Is that how it works?
Yeah, so we have a game server that's running everything. So it knows where all the headsets are at, and then the headsets
They're connected by that.
Yeah, and then all the headsets have their own individual tracking. We have a very special design in the arena that is computer generated, that gives it the best optimal tracking for the headsets, and that's what we use in our arena. So when you go to our Blacklight arena, it'll look really crazy, the designs and stuff, and maybe even alien. Well, it's for the headsets.
Okay.
So,
Right.
Okay.
yeah, you'll see weird symbols and stuff like that. Yeah, it's for the electronics.
But if she's in the corner hiding, I'm going to be able to see that from the zombies. Okay.
Yep. Yeah,
Can't
if
hide in the
if she
corner.
falls over, you'll see her fall over.
I would love to do the zombie one. Holy guacamole.
Yeah. Yeah, what's fun about our most popular developer is Hero Zone. We use them for our birthday parties because they really have kind of a good diversity of games, but they're also fun to play. And one of the zombie ones they have is really fun. You have a hammer. You can pick up a hammer or a nail gun, and you can build up your barricades when they get damaged. And then you have like a wide assortment of weapons to choose from when you are fighting zombies. And you're just basically trying to hold your position over
Name
5
some
waves.
other ones there are. You said zombies.
Arrow Song. So I'll go through all like hero zones.
Yeah.
So Hero Zone has Dead Ahead, which is the zombie one. We have 3 maps: the city map, hospital, and church. They're just different scenarios with different kinds of weapons and zombies. Then we have Arrow Song, which is the bow and arrow one. It's a tower defense where you're defending a mystical tree from getting damaged. We have
Avatar.
Yeah, we have the dungeon one, where you're defending against spiders and magic casters and stuff like that.
Spiders.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't do
And
spiders.
they'll crawl on the
It
walls
just
and
would
stuff
not
like that.
happen.
I would freak out.
Nope.
Yeah.
That would be so
Nope.
fun.
There's a
Nope.
boss spider that you fight too.
Nope.
I'm totally down.
Nightmares.
And then-
Taylor, Mark Mowers, we going to
goosebumps?
fight a spider.
Goblin Mine, you fight goblins. That one's fun.
Take on
Goblins,
goblin-
and
goblins or
they have like
zombies.
aerial crafts and catapults. They throw themselves towards the tree, and then at the end you fight a huge dragon, a goblin riding.
Josh
a dragon.
is like, I'm so into this. Josh is like, how can I get there?
So that's Arrow Song. Then we have the Quantum Arena. That's laser tag. We have a Japanese map, an Egyptian map, and the Spire, which are just different types of maps for that. And then we have Cyber Shock. Cyber Shock is a platform. I call it a platform one where you shoot the robots, but basically you're all on a platform that moves forward. So that one, there is a little bit of risk there for, motion sickness. Because I've had
All the
kids.
platform moves.
Yeah, because I've had kids go, the room feels like it's moving for real,
That would be me.
But you're on the platform and it's moving forward, and you've got like these walls that are coming, and you have to dodge the walls.
Holy cow.
And you got
It sounds
robots
fun.
flying
I
around.
like that one.
Yeah, and then
Kids would love that.
during the
too.
boss battle, it rises up through the air, and then you fight the boss and stuff like that. So that's a lot of fun. That's pretty popular too. And then we have Mission X, which is now called Infinity. They just transitioned. So they were only doing laser tag games. They have 6 maps for laser tag, but they saw that the other developers are kind of expanding into other avenues too. So they decided, they created their own zombie game. Their zombie game is more, I would say, relaxed. So they would be like a green kind of zombie game. There's 4 people can play that one, up to 4, not 6. It's a smaller space, but you really don't move around that much. You're kind of in a square, fenced-in area within a city, and you're fighting waves of zombies that are coming at you.
A
And then you
starter
gotta
pack.
Yeah, it's a starter. It's a good starter game. It's not as much moving around, so it's more relaxed too. So they just did that, and then
Is there like a one with like dinosaurs or something?
so in our escape rooms.
Okay.
So we have our developer VR Cave, and they make all our escape rooms.
Okay.
And we have 6 of those, and they make new ones every year for us as well. So we're going to have a new one in January, February, maybe.
Oh, that is so
somewhere.
cool.
But
It
one
is
of
cool.
our dinosaur one is Time Traveler Paradox.
Oh.
So that one is where you work together, trying to basically take down this teammate of yours that has backstabbed you all and has made off with the time machine that you end up recovering, but it's broken, so now it's acting glitchy, and so you're kind of dealing with wonky stuff like being teleported in the dinosaur era. And
that really sounds fun.
then you get teleported into another era, and then half your team is in a different time zone. Nope. So that one is a lot of fun, and that one so some of our escape rooms actually have boss battles at the end, which is very unique. It's not normal for escape rooms. Escape rooms usually you have like puzzles you figure out, and then once you get out of each of the rooms, then you've won within a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Some of ours, about 4 of ours, have actually boss battles at the end.
I didn't know what that is.
Boss battle is where the main villain of the story, you actually fight him in the end.
Oh.
So, or some kind of bigger creature that takes over.
David versus Goliath.
Yeah, which is fun. There's still some puzzles involved in that if you want to succeed quickly with those. But yeah, they're a little more advanced than the regular escape room, which I think is awesome because there are limits to a physical escape room. Obviously.
You should do a haunted house one, like if you can make it through.
We have a Manor of Escape, which is a scary one where you're a plague doctor as a detective, and you're there to stop Moloch from doing whatever, and so that one is scary. I have had plenty of people scream because there's a couple jump scares.
2 escape rooms. You said you had an escape room package that was 2, right?
Yes.
So you could do 2. I don't have to pick one.
Yeah, double escape.
Oh, they are escape rooms?
What's that?
The ghost one?
Yep, the one he's telling you about.
Yeah, the Manor of Escape. So, yeah, we have a bunch of themed ones. They're all different. So we have a space station one, an underwater one. Like I said, the haunted house one, which is Manor of Escape. We have the time travel one. We have a pirate ship one. Yeah, just a large variety of
I should do one
themes.
Before I do the haunted house one, though.
Well, that's where you can do the 2 escape room deal.
Yeah, there's 2 of them. The underwater one and the space station one are more, I would say, more green, easier, and a good starter and a good starter escape room instead of trying to jump into one of the more our most popular one is the Manor of Escape because it's scary. Everybody wants to be in a scary escape room, but it is one of our most challenging ones.
Which is, I've never done an escape room, and so that's my question. Does everybody escape? What happens if you don't get out?
Yeah.
If you don't finish within the allotted time, you just lose.
Okay.
It'll say good try, and it'll say percentage of how much you've completed. And then in every escape room experience.
But they give you some clues, right?
We give you up to 4 hints that you can use during the game. If you get stuck, you can get hints. During that
they don't give up the exact.
But we only give you 35 minutes. We originally started with 45 minutes, but we found that everybody could pretty much do it within 45 minutes. And we only gave away 2 hints back then. But what we found was what was more challenging is 35 minutes.
Less time.
But we give you 4 hints, and that gives your group the flexibility. If do you want it more challenging, then don't take the hints. But if you do need help, there are up to 4 hints that you can use.
Interesting. It really is. I'm big into games. I'm big into competitive things, and it also makes your brain work.
Yes.
So I'm liking this a lot. And the VR.
Yeah, it can make or break marriages.
He sounds so positive when he says that because I've always said canoeing. Yeah. You go canoeing before you marry them, that person. And if you can make it through the canoe trip, oh yes. If you have never been canoeing, have you gone with a partner?
No.
Well, it's a completely different experience when you go with your partner in the same canoe. Have you done it?
No.
It's a completely different experience. In which case, if you can make it through the canoeing day with your partner in the boat, and both of you get through
Make it mean that you didn't disappear underwater.
Yeah, exactly. If you can make it to the end and you haven't killed each other or gotten in someone else's boat, your marriage is going to make it. Your relationship will make it.
And if not, you just make sure your spouse doesn't make it, right?
Well,
or your future spouse.
Yes, that's right. This is what you do before you get in the committed relationship.
You tip their boat over.
Is you go canoeing with them because you're stuck in a little boat.
They got a hold.
Are you both in the same boat?
In the same canoe, and it requires that cooperation.
So you have to throw them physically out of the
together, or you hope you're canoeing with friends who are willing to.
Is this like what? rapids or anything like that?
Oh, sure.
I've done
Like
that.
rocks
I've
and
done
stuff?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
yes.
We did it, and there's a 4-foot drop at the one we did.
Oh, wow.
It's only
yeah,
an hour.
there's
It
another
was only
virtual
2 hours.
reality.
Yeah, that's
idea.
what I was thinking, because I was like, wow, that'd be cool to do
that's
like
another-
a canoe one.
Or like a whitewater rafting.
Yeah, whitewater
Yeah.
rafting.
And
my
then,
God,
and if you have them
yes.
hitting each other with the paddles,
And I just
had
stand there with a
nothing to
spray
do with
bottle and
it.
spray them.
They're not cats. No, I'm just kidding.
It adds to the effect if he's standing there and you're getting
like,
splashed and getting wet.
Enough with the water.
I'm like in the spray bottle. If he'd said hose, I'd be like, but
Yeah,
spray
no,
bottle.
thank
I'm like, yeah, this works. It adds
On
to
stream,
the effect.
though, on stream.
And all of a sudden, like they get a
that
gust
for your
of wind
4-foot
and
drop.
put a fan in front of them.
That for the 4-foot drop, yes. And you have a special you're advertising now. Is it for the holidays or is that for the new year?
Okay, so we have actually several things going on. Up until Christmas, we are selling our Christmas gift cards are available for 50% off. So you get a $30 gift card for $15. You get a $50 gift card for $25 or a $100 for $50. And those are good for a year. So you can get them before Christmas. So the 24th is the last day to get them. But you have to go on the website and purchase them. They actually look like, basically they look like this, but they'll be on your account and you can print them off and give them to other people, or you can keep them for yourself. They have a special code, which we blocked this one out. I don't know if they can see that, but I have the code blocked off. And actually I have these for you guys. So
Yay.
as a Christmas gift. So I have 4 of these $30 gift. These are our Christmas gift cards.
Aww.
So I have 4 of them to give to you guys. So Merry Christmas to you.
Yay, thank
And
you.
you can
I'm
use them
so
however you want to
excited.
use them. Keep them for yourself.
Or all for me. No, I'm just kidding.
Give them to somebody, whatever you want to do.
Thank you very much. It is her birthday and,
Yes, and happy
Christmas as well. So, and then maybe after, when we get back after the holidays, we can give away 1 or 2 of them. You take one, I'll take one, and then we'll give
you could
away
do that.
1 or 2 and
good
have
for a
people
year.
talking about you. Because, it says good till the 14th of 2023, so a year from now.
Now, we also have, we're trying to boost our followers on our Facebook page. So we're trying to get to 1,000 followers. Once we get to 1,000 followers, we're going to go, and all of our followers, we're going to do a random draw and give them a $350 2-hour birthday party or private party.
I
Doesn't
got
have to be.
my own horn.
1,000 followers is
1,000
all you want?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We're
got
at
you.
650 some followers right now.
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
So you don't have too many to go, but we're going to work to get to 1,000 followers.
1,000
so
followers.
If you've not
Ideally,
already,
I would love to get there before the end of the year, but if we go over a little bit, that's fine too.
Okay, so this is
I'll
going to
start
air the
now.
21st, a little bit of a challenge to everybody to go ahead and like the virtual
Yeah,
ventures
just share it out.
page.
And,
I'll be working on that already, though.
yeah,
We'll
because
get
we
that.
post a lot of our. So we're on every social media site there is, pretty much, and we post out 2 to 3 times a day at least. All of our trailers for all of our games, any special events we've got going on, stuff like that. So
Because yes, he is
Keep doing
portable.
that.
He
Keep
can
doing
come
that.
to you. And then you have the brick and mortar building on Wilkes and Davenport where people can come to. You can come to them. They can come to you. So you do corporate events.
yep, yeah. So team building, yeah. We usually do the escape rooms with team building. We'll pit like 2 teams or more than 2 teams together, and have them compete on like a time, how much time they completed it in, or whatever. And they'll do the same escape rooms against each other. So that's
Throw
really
out
fun.
some of the names of the companies that I've already checked out.
So Granger, Morgan Stanley, John Deere. We've had some of them are scheduled to do their corporate events still, and some of them have already completed theirs. John Deere already finished theirs. They had a blast. So that was their HR and IT department.
That would
So-
be so fun.
And can you imagine HR doing like the zombie thing of all people?
Yeah.
Because the HR are supposed to be like even keel all the time. Aren't they? Really are. They're not supposed to react to too much.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think we did Manner of Escape, which was great. And then we did the Pirates Plague, which is hilarious.
I think Pirates would be fun.
Well, Pirates Plague is funny because there was really a lot of teamwork required on that one, because you have somebody who has to load a cannon, you have somebody else who has to light the cannon, and somebody else who has to aim the cannon, and somebody else who has to fight off the pirates that are trying to board your ship.
Oh, God.
I mean, there's a lot of
Wow.
action. That's in the beginning, and then there's a whole lot of puzzles in the middle. and then a big boss battle at the end, which is really fun to watch.
I think this would be fun for wedding parties too, really. To go in, and by the time you walk out, there is no his side of the family or her side of the family.
We've done one bachelor party so far, and they had a blast.
I told him before the show that I worked for Verizon, and they did a virtual reality training for us in the event of a robbery, and it was very real. But I
Pulp
loved
Fiction
it.
real.
It might have been the coolest thing I've ever seen in my whole life, though, as in that kind of thing and the things it taught you. So I can imagine like playing a game would be even way better.
Right, because it's not so serious.
Yeah, it was pretty serious.
But yeah, learning under virtual reality, I think, is really smart because there is the adrenaline without the risk, or risk without the
there's a lot of different lanes you can choose for that. I know there are. I know if you're familiar with Steve Grubbs, he did have Paradigm before, which was like a VR arcade place, but he focuses on educational, like VR educational stuff. He works with schools and stuff like that. So he's still doing a lot of that stuff with the educational side. So that's his lane. He got out of the gaming lane.
I was going to say, if he's local, we might like to talk to him too, because realistically, this is what's going to be going on in the future. This is how it is.
Well, it showed people sitting at home and what they do.
Well, and there's still industries that we don't even know are going to show up from virtual reality stuff. And augmented reality, too, by the way.
Yes, because, that's a whole other aspect of it that we're
in the next 5 to 10 years, I would say you're going to wear glasses kind of like this. And then you're going to see a digital overlay of the world. So when you want GPS... you'll be able to just see the GPS on the ground, the arrows where you're supposed to go. Maybe if I see you, I can see your name above you and when's your birthday, and maybe, I don't know, any notes I left on there for you. Maybe if I pass by a restaurant or a place, I can see how many stars their ratings are just by glancing at them, just automatically pop up. And probably all the billboards will just be QR codes without your glasses on. And when you look at the billboard, it will have a display that's a motion display. So the future is just right around the corner.
People are getting chipped to do things.
I did.
They're getting chips in their hands and knees and
really
things
into
like that.
Having
so
things
they
put in me, but
it's interesting.
On me is okay because I can take it off. But
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, that's Elon Musk talking about like the Neuralink kind of stuff. But yeah, I really don't need that kind of power.
It's the direction that the technology is going.
I mean, technology.
It's technology. It's where we are.
Interesting.
And I think with anything, it's how it's used.
Of course, and everything can be used positively or negatively. Everything.
Exactly.
I can take a fork and eat with it, or stab my neighbor with it.
There you go.
Bam.
So I mean,
Bottom line.
I picked
bottom line.
I picked to eat with it. What?
Yeah, I mean, even like with social media being that was kind of still. I mean, it's still fairly new, and we can see how that can be a positive or a negative thing. So.
Well, and since the subconscious does not recognize the difference between fantasy and reality, it only knows the information that's coming in. I can really see where it can be used in so many positive ways. Yeah. But then on the flip side, because the subconscious doesn't know the difference between fantasy and reality, where it could become something that if somebody wants to use it for negative, it could really become scary.
Yeah. And you can have addiction issues. Because there's the regular computer gamer that died from playing the whole time and didn't go to the restroom or get a drink of water.
What?
Yeah.
And you're right, your body needs nourishment.
Yeah, and he totally so immersed.
I saw a movie one time where like they were collecting the kids' pee to like not stop.
They were doing a marathon.
Yeah, a marathon.
Yeah, they do.
Is that normal? They do that often?
Yeah, like
and they just pee themselves?
Twitch is a gaming website where a lot of people have like a fan base that follows them, and they'll do like marathon kind of things, like a challenge to be stay up the whole time. And
yeah, I get it though, because I remember this is
they get donations and all that kind of stuff. They make money, so
I mean it's got to be competitive. They're probably just like, oh, I gotta,
Well, look at the teenagers are making a lot of money in esports. I think there was one that was $1 million prize here recently.
Yeah, that's kind of tied with the Twitch. Twitch is a channel that thrives on esports as well, and so online
Yeah, so that's the thing. If you were a parent telling your kid, get off the video games, you'll never amount to anything, they made us into liars.
Professional players, yeah.
Yeah, they made us into liars. Yeah. So, and it's, like your brain's shrinking when you're doing that. They made us into liars.
We had, when I lived in Washington and I worked for an apartment complex, we had different rooms for people that were gamers that were in like a rehab for gaming. But on the flip side,
gaming rehab, that's a whole other application of development. Right
the smartest kids I've ever met in my life. Like, why? I feel like they could be the next whoever.
But it feeds the pleasure centers, all that serotonin and dopamine or whatever else.
Adrenaline without the risk.
Yes. So, I mean, I can see that legit.
Especially if you can just sit down and not have to move.
If I could do that.
It ties into the whole idleness of man.
The gliding, I could see where I could be addicted to that.
If you want to dance, you can go to Altspace. Altspace has dance clubs, and you can dance in your living room with all kinds of other people.
Oh, I mean,
He's the expert on this. He's the expert on this.
I would totally love something like this.
If you want a VR dance party in my Blacklight Arena, we can arrange that.
Wouldn't that be so fun?
It really would. It really would. Now, I need to find a man.
You need to find a man. Not my lane.
But see, if we can do virtual reality, we can make the man. We can make the man,
That is
right?
true. You can dance with an avatar.
We can
AI.
make the man.
You could just dance with an AI avatar.
We can make the man. We can give you Channing Tatum. However you say his name, Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum, yeah.
I don't even know if I'd be able to deal with that.
We can mix him up with a little bit of like Chris Hemsworth and just mash
I'd be like,
them together.
I can't talk. I can't see. I can't. No.
On that note, we do need to be winding up this video cast. We've gone to about an hour now. You have been a great guest. Thank you for coming in. And I feel like we could talk more about this stuff because it is. It's new, it's fresh, it's trending.
Yeah. So we should go together and then have him back sometime for a
I think that's why he gave us these. I get one, you get one, and maybe we can set it up to where the people that win these can meet us and we can do the foursome.
Ooh, there you go. Yeah, that'd be fun.
I think that would be fun, and we might have to record a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
So, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yay.
Thank you, Michael. Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Kelly. Cheers.
Cheers. I'm all out.
Cheers to our coffee. Thank you, Revolution Coffee, for being our coffee supplier. Thank you, Done Right. And thank you, Holidays. And happy birthday one day early, Kelly.
Thank you.
I think we'll have to have you come back again or definitely cover you with what we're doing. Thank you, Josh. You're awesome. Wishing you the best on what you have going the next week or so. And we'll see you after the first of the year. Merry Christmas, everybody. Bye.